Those pesky census takers seem to want more and more personal information every time they fan out into our neighborhoods. The Census Department wants us to think that we have some duty to cooperate with them, sort of like jury duty or something. I wanted to find out for all of our beloved viewers exactly what you are and are not required to tell a government agent who knocks on your door. I called the Census Bureau Media Relations Department and I asked for a telephone interview. They said they would schedule the interview and they asked for my questions in advance.
Send me those questions?
They looked at my questions and refused to answer them, and they reneged on the telephone interview. Maybe the questions were too hard. I'll read you those questions in a moment, but first you may be surprised to know some of the questions that they will be asking you sometime soon. They'll be asking you about your disabilities, how much income you receive, where you get your income from, your housing costs, how many cars you own, how much you pay for insurance, if you receive food stamps, how much you pay for utilities. They'll be asking you things that you would not tell a stranger. In my view, if they have a clipboard and a certificate from the Census Bureau, they are still strangers. You may know that the Constitution allows the government to count us once every 10 years. For some reason, the Census Bureau has recently started counting us and collecting information about us every year, all year around. I'm not sure why, because the Constitution does not authorize them to do that. Remember that to interact with you in any way, government must have constitutional authorization for that. But we as citizens have simply been lax for the last couple of 100 years at demanding proof of authority before handing over our information, our money, our power, and our liberty to government. So I think since we've fallen behind in limiting the encroachment of government on our wealth and privacy, maybe the census would be a good place to start to let the government know that they are not authorized to demand our cooperation in the contrived schemes they come up with for information gathering. If they claim they do have the authority to gather your private information, show them a copy of the Constitution and ask them to show you the part that authorizes them to demand private information from you. Videotape their responses. Let's see if we can make a few thousand YouTube videos of census takers stammering and lying. Here are some of my questions that the Census Bureau Media Relations Department chose not to answer. The Constitution authorizes government to count people, but it does not authorize the taking of private information or even the names of individuals. From where does the Census Bureau derive authority to demand our private information? No answer. Is there any limit to the amount and the type of private information that the Census Bureau may demand and collect? No answer. Under what constitutional authority does the Census Bureau collect information now from 250,000 people every month of every year? No answer. The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution prohibits government search and seizure of private information without a court warrant based on probable cause. Current census policies violate that amendment, do they not? No answer. By what constitutional authority does the Census Bureau threaten penalties for failure to provide personal information? No answer. The Census Bureau claims it maintains privacy of personal information. Are there any circumstances under which law enforcement or spy agencies can access census information? No answer. Since presumably census data may be subpoenaed by law enforcement, may individuals refuse to answer questions according to the Fifth Amendment? No answer. Why has the Census Bureau decided to collect GPS coordinates for every home? No answer. Virtually every government database has either been lost, hacked, or compromised. Would the Census Bureau's claim of data security not be an outright lie, or at best, highly improbable? No answer. How would the Census Bureau locate, protect, and compensate those individuals whose data becomes compromised? No answer. Well, I can answer a lot of those questions for them. Unless the Census Bureau can show you their constitutional authority, you don't have to even open the door for them. When they come to my door, it will be the census taker who will be answering the questions. I'm Jerry Day. This is Matrix News Network.